Right. Okay. Right. I'll just get finished setting up. And then ease camera 3. Okay, hello everyone if you're watching. My YouTube stuff is on the other side of the room, so I can't really tell who's here and who's not. But I will check every now and again to see if there's any chat or anything like that. There was a couple of connections before, but they seem to have disappeared. Right, so on Christmas Eve, someone rang me up about 5 times. So I answered on the 5th call just to tell them that they had wrong number. But it was someone with a radio cassette who wanted it repaired within a week or two, because he's from overseas and he's visiting family here, and his mother is still around, but his father, who owned this piece of steaming stuff, is not around anymore. So I agreed to it. I know I've just gone down to JCar to get some capacitors and all that sort of thing. I've sort of got it out of the chassis, or out of the case, and yeah, it's yeah. So it's pretty old. It's probably early to mid 70s, I would think. Very early cassette mechanism. Very basic radio. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get on with it, and if I start to swear or do anything like that, yes. But I think it's going to be fairly straightforward. So I'll put you on to the overhead camera and zoom you down a little bit. Shaky, shaky. Yep, that's it. And yeah. So these are my new screwdrivers. I noticed Graham was using these on Radio Cruncher, and I looked them up on Amazon. and they don't deliver to Australia, but I found a local tool shop that does actually have them. So, and they've got other really good screwdrivers there as well by that brand. They're Japanese and they actually fit the screws, which is something that I haven't found any screwdrivers ever that actually do fit the screws. So let's get on with it. Where did I put my bag of capacitors? Here we go. So I don't know how this is going to come up. In fact, I think so. That is on there. This is absolutely disgustingly filthy inside too. Is that? Oh, okay. Aha. So there's a clip there which holds the volume control in place. And I don't know whether you can see all that muck on there. So there was big piles of it in down the bottom. It's obviously been in a bedroom or something like that. Here's another bit of it. Yeah. Seems to be my life at the moment, just cleaning rubbish out of old machines. What else can we... That is the speaker? No, it's down to... Oh, it's the microphone. That's the microphone input, which is in the exact opposite corner. So this is the top corner and the microphone is down there. Great. Design that. Right. There's my cutters. Turn on the soldering iron, which would help, and the desoldering gun. Chop this out the way. And we'll see if we can get the board over in any meaningful way. This is going to be just impossible to do. Right. Here's the other end of that. There it is. Is this going to flip over? Okay, well that's good enough. In fact, yeah, I can work with that. Right, let's try an easy one first. That looks like that. That's a 7.3, no, 4.7 at 25 volts. Okay, 4.7. at 50 volts, which is exactly the same size. And was the smallest one I could get. Right. I'm going to... No, I'm not. I was going to chop the power cord, just to help it swivel around a bit, but I won't for the time being, even though it's an American plug and that's been bent to suit Australia, which was the deal back in the day. I've come across many a power cord like that. Right, so we're there and there. One, okay, down in that clear area, come up to there. One, two, okay. All right, your guess is as good as mine. The weather has been pretty bad up here the last few days, although not as bad as up in Queensland. And I suspect David Tipton might have copped it. And this is in diagonally, but I wonder if it's doesn't feel like that one. Okay. We like this, are we? And it would help if I put the filter cartridge back in. Might suck then. The track is coming off. It's better. It feels like it's doing. That is it. Got to be so careful with these because the tracks are so bad. Is it that one? No, was it? Like this? Ah, there we go. Right, that's the first one out. Right. Well, that was surprisingly difficult. Right, so we'll put that there and right. That's the first one done. Okay. Have a bit of a sip of my tea. Not expecting many viewers today because it's Boxing Day and people will be out with their friends and family. But this is just really a trial. Don't know what that does. It's strange clear plastic too. Must have decided they would be saving money by not putting any dye into the... Where's my little pliers? Don't want the ends, whoops, don't want the ends falling in the cassette mechanism for what it's worth. Now I suspect most of these caps are going to be in the cassette mechanism, but we'll do the whole thing just in case. There's stuff that's duplicated. Okay. How many do I actually have to do? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 3. Okay. And where's my little bag? Right. We'll work our way down. So this one over here, which is another 4.7. That was, yep, 4.7. Hang on. Did I put a 47 in there? Bugger. Um, 470. $100. One. 220. I did. I put a 4.7 instead of the 47. No, it is a 4.7. Yeah, so I was right. Okay, so that, why did I only get 4.7 then? Maybe I missed it when I was checking the board and writing them down. Okay, so let's look for a 4.7. 4.750, 4.725. Now, I didn't really want to use good caps in this, but one won't hurt. Right. Okay, so do this one over here next. And so we've got that big one, which is there. We go up and it should be here, I think. So we've got one. No, we've only got two components that go that way. So one. So that one and that one. And so neat. out, you little swine. Why aren't these... So just bent over enough that they won't come out. There we go. I'd have to move those screwdrivers. So 4.7 at 25. Put it in this bag. And negative that way. Just a moving board. It's bouncing. That's better. Okay. Next one, which will be this big one here, which I think is the 330. So there, and might be this one. One on the end. Is that it? No. Bottom one is coming out. That is then. Okay. This just doesn't want to budge. Oh, hang on. No, it's the one. It's this one. Interesting. That's better. go. And yep, there's the 330. And right, the minus this way. Right. And this unit's so cheap it doesn't even have a tone control on it. It just has this volume control. Okay, let's have a look at the stream. Ah, hello. I've got 2 viewers at the moment. No comments. So, okay. Right. Right, let's do the next one. Only 10 more to go. And they're going to get a bit more difficult as you get further down, I suspect. Right, so that's that one there. That had better... So we're just above that cutout. So those two. So that one. So it's above. So it has to be this one, I suspect. Yep. And maybe that one. These are really difficult to get out for some reason. One is this one, no? It's going to be either that one or that one. If it's this one. Oh, don't know whether you can hear that, but it's the capacitor fizzing. It is this one down here. Right. Ugh, yep. That has really fizzed out. And this is a 220. Okay. So 220. That's a 470. So 220. And negative that way. Now this one is a bit smaller than the other one. So we won't have to do this, bend it 9 degrees, then bend it up, and we should have the right width. Almost perfect, Andrew. There we go. Right. And that's exactly what I didn't want to do, is drop it. Alright, hopefully it won't do anything in the cassette mechanism. Right, I think we should try it. And just make sure it's still going. Before we get too far into it, and then we have to is this guy? Yep. So I'm on dim bulb, and turn the isolation transformer on, and we'll see what we get. Is it on? It's on. Okay. Oh, the speaker's not connected, is it? Where was the speaker connection? There's no lights or anything on this. FM antenna. I think, where was it? I've lost it. And we do have a longish cord, so it's meant to come out. I can't see where it was. Is it a spade? No, it's not a spade. It's a round one. So there's the earth. E. Oh, okay. That is the earth. Okay. So we'll try this. Well, it's already sounding a lot better. There's no reception, of course, because the antenna isn't connected. Have I got a clip lead handy? No. Okay. Wow, that has made a big difference. And it's never going to sound good, but...
Gold Coast residents are calling this the worst storm in decades. So powerful, it's ripped the entire roof off this family's home in the suburb of Pacific Pines. The living room's a mess, and the roof has ended up across the road and on top of their neighbour, Jeff and Helen's house across the road. Tragically, the supercell claimed the life of a 59-year-old woman who was driving when a tree came down on top of her car at Helensvale, not far from here. At least 6 other people across the southeast were taken to hospital with injuries after trees came down in their homes and caravans. It didn't last long, but it was intense, doing an extraordinary amount of damage in a relatively short amount of time. There were wind gusts of up to 160 kilometres per hour and 200,000 lightning strikes recorded, bringing down 500 power lines and cutting electricity to 125,000 homes and businesses. Energex crews are now working around the clock to get people back online, but it's causing chaos on the coast, with phone towers and traffic lights disabled during the busiest time of year. Emergency services, police, SES, paramedics and firefighters had hundreds of calls for assistance between them.
Well, you get the idea. That's Queensland for you. You don't want to be up there at this time of year. Okay. Right. Now, I suspect, if I just bring you over here, and I don't know whether you can see that. I'll bring you down. This area, I suspect, is the cassette. That might not be. We'll try that one next. And yeah, that's going to be fun to do. That's got all these a whole bunch of wires wrapped around it. That's, geez, what do they do here? I mean, that's just yeah. Huh. That's the motor wire. Goes from there, across there, round there, and then over there. Okay. Right. Which one next? This one. So that is right in that corner. Right. That one and that one. hopefully that is it. Unless it's in that blob of solder there. I think that is it. Yep. This is just difficult because these tracks are not good at all. Right. That is polarized, that one, and it's 0.1, I think. 1 microfarad at 50 volts. Okay. It does have good brands of capacitor in here, surprisingly. They're not sort of no-name brands. They're Rubicons and Nippon Chemicon. Right. And that one is much smaller, but goes in reasonably easily. Right. So what I might do after this one is do a bit of capacitor bingo, and we'll just see how bad these actually are. Right. I'll try not to lose this one. And oop. No, it fell down. Okay. Right into the mechanism. Right. Now this is the 220, which fizzed out before. So we'll try this one. Uh, 259. Oh no. Yeah, 259.8 ESR of 0.2. So that wasn't that bad. And unstick this. In fact, we'll take the sticky tape right off of this bag. Things get stuck to it. 330. And 321. Again, the ESR is 0.2. Don't really trust this thing on. I know the microfarads or the farads is pretty accurate, but I know just don't trust that. Although they're only small caps. Right, this is the one. And we'll try this one. 1.4, so that's definitely out of whack, and it's definitely high. This one is almost 4 ohms, so that is pretty high resistance, more like a resistor than a capacitor. And we'll do this one. This is the 4.7. .24 at 1.76 ohms, so that is pretty much dead. And the last one in this batch is also a 4.7. And put this on. 5.99 at 1.88 ohms. So that one is definitely well out of spec as well. So they're all out of spec. And all pretty rotten. So this is worth doing the caps on. Right. Right. I think we'll do these two over here next. Now I assume that is some sort of transistor or something. It's got 10, oh no, it's a resistor, 10 meg. Is that or what? Yeah, I can't quite read that. Okay. So we're in the bottom corner. So it'll be this one. Didn't actually get any, yes we did. Right, so this is one of our 220s again. So I'll put that aside. I can put it in here, can't I? That in there, and there's our 220. We'll have to do this again. This is a bit tricky because I can't see quite what I'm doing. It's right down in the wiring. There it is. No. Almost had it then, I thought. There we go. And the other one is there and there, okay. Come on. You can do it. These are proving to be really hard to get out. Here we go. And as I've said before, these are really delicate, the tracks on these. They're a bit of improvement over the mid-60s tracks, but they're still not good. What value was it? So this is 100. 10. So that's a 47. 47, where's the 100? Here we go. And this will definitely have to be bent. This is much smaller than the other one. So it's the same value, voltage wise. So that way. Good. That was a big blob. Might touch that up a bit. Right. Let's try this again. This one on. And stick our.
He survived and found himself in Germany and was promised from persecution, but he decided that becoming second Nelson Mandela would make him potentially politically more viable, sustainable, and long living, and it ended really bad for Navalny was being in prison.
Well, that sounds like it's working, which is about all I can say for it, really. Okay. Right. So next we have, so that one's done, these two. So directly across from there. Is this, no. It's often the hardest thing doing the working out which is which. Okay, so it's there and there, I think. Or is it there and there? Okay, we'll try that. Getting a bit close to the plastic down here. Oh, okay. So the track is coming off that one. Hopefully that is it. Yep. That is that end. Ooh, it's getting hot. And that one is out. We might just get away with that. And this is, oh, that's that 47. 47. Right. Just bend these leads and do it much the same as the other one. Yep. And this one is negative. Okay. Don't come off. Go through the hole. Right. Just got away with that. No. Not that hole. Bugger. That was too easy. Missed the hole completely. Put it through another one where there wasn't any component. That's better. Right. We'll definitely have to try it after that one. Yeah.
To actually leave their flood-affected homes and really take a bit of a mental reprieve and enjoy that Christmas lunch and be surrounded by friends and the community. Now, we know around 1,000 homes were impacted by that flood disaster over a week ago when ex-tropical cyclone Jasper crossed the coast. The Queensland Government has now confirmed around 500 homes were moderately impacted, 126 were severely impacted, and about 12 were completely destroyed. Now, the flood water has very much receded here in Cairns, but anyone who's been through a flood disaster knows that the cleanup, the recovery, insurance and the renovation process can just take months. As I mentioned, those people that we spoke to yesterday...
Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Just that one capacitor has really brought it up. I'm going to go and get a drink, another one, and I'll be back in a moment. So I'll leave you with the news radio here in Australia. So, and they're probably going to go on about the floods and the bad weather in Queensland. So yeah, wow, I can see a don't know whether you won't be able to see it, but down here is a reed switch, and that is just full of fluff. Very interesting. Oh, that does have a belt around it, I think. Okay, let's hope that belt is okay. I bet you it won't be. No. That is well and truly stretched beyond... Yeah. In fact, it's broken in half. Come on. Huh. Yeah, square belt. Is that a... Yeah, it is a square, but it's in a square. Right. I do have plenty of belts, apparently, because Jaycar is still selling VCR belts. I don't know how old they are, but yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. I'll leave you with the radio.
Dr. Kelly Walples is the principal scientist for the DBCA Marine Science Program.
So we did collect a range of samples, and for different purposes. We try and get a minimum set of information from every stranding that occurs, and especially these rare ones. So we want things like general morphometric measures. So that's its length, its girth, some information like that, the number of teeth that it has. So that helps us just understand a little bit more about populations and population health out there. We also like to get a tissue sample that we can be used for genetics to, again, look at population structure and genetics. And we get a range of samples that might help us understand a little bit more about its health. So things like a muscle sample, swabs from the blowhole, and sometimes even a feces sample. So all of these samples were collected from this whale. And then sometimes we get scientists that ask us for additional samples for themselves for particular studies that they have going on. And for this animal, we were asked to collect a sample of the tongue and also some blubber samples. And those are for different specific studies.
And so how rare is this opportunity to be able to, be this close to a sperm whale and to be able to take these samples?
Well, certainly for me, it was very rare. It's the first sperm whale that I've been that close to. I have seen live sperm whales at sea. Again, this is very, very distant from shore and not something that's been stranded on the beach. So I don't think they strand all that frequently, certainly not in WA. There have been sperm whale strandings before, but they are rare occasions, and in particularly on this west coast. We do have had more sperm whale strandings down along on the south coast.
The whale has since been buried with the purpose of digging it up in about 5 years' time to, I guess, keep the skeleton intact and use that. What's that process like of burying an animal knowing that you need to do it in a way that you can then dig it back up again?
It is a very interesting process. I myself was not involved in that, but we have a very experienced team here, led by our Senior Marine Operational Officer, John Edwards, that do an exceptional job of both running the logistics and making this all happen. And they did take a lot of time and care to ensure that the sperm whale will be available for the museum for its collection in the future. But it is quite a process, so they have to plan out how large the animal is to make sure that they can find a site where it can be buried, and it has to be buried at a suitable depth, because as it's decomposing, you want it to have enough earth and material over the top of it that decomposition isn't going to reach to the surface. So they basically wrap the entire carcass in cargo net lined with tarpaulins, and this keeps the animal together. So as it's decomposing, again, all of the skeleton and bits will remain together for the museum collection, but also to keep in a lot of those bodily fluids and to not make it as much of a mess as it could be as it's decomposing. So they wrap it all up, get it onto a large loader, take it to the site where it's going to be buried, and have to dig a very big and deep hole, and then get the carcass into it, and then cover it up with at least 6 to 10 meters of earth and material above the carcass.
Wow, that's a big hole. And I'm guessing it's kind of got to be a bit secretive as well, because you don't want people knowing where it's at and potentially trying to go and dig it up themselves.
That's right.
Okay, I'm back. So let's just disconnect this aerial and the speaker again. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to do, and 1 in the power supply. So 8. That sounds... How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, halfway through. Okay, so that one is going to be a little bit further down. And so that was that one there, and this one is, it's not, so that's done that one, and that one, yeah, okay. Is that it? Yep. They're both really loose, but that one is out and that one is out now. And this is a 470. This is 470. This is 100. 470. And it in there, yep. Doesn't look very good down there. Although that is factory. These were all hand soldered back in the day. Right, next one will be this one. So that is next to that clear area. Is that connected to the switch at all? No. Let's try and get this out. Way. Yep. So that should be is that it? Yeah, maybe. Chip down there and that. Come on. Doesn't feel like the right component. Ah. Yep, that's that one. Could be this one. No. That is definitely that one. Go. I can't tell. That is. It's got to be it. Oh, hang on. We're there. Yep. So that's below that. But it's not down there. Or is it? Maybe it's... Maybe it's the other way around. Aha. Yep. And I'm going to do that and it's always windy up here. Why isn't that? It'll be up there somewhere. There's one end. Okay, no. Be careful with this. Oh, okay, it goes sideways. So it's that one, huh? No wonder. And that's it. Easy when you get the right lead. And this is another 470. It's 100. Right. Only got 3 capacitors left, and there is 6 to go. Didn't I get the right number? And where's my solder? Time for a new chip. This one is well and truly worn out. And I did buy a couple more, but when they came, they weren't the right ones. Because I like a bit of a chisel, a very small chisel tip. And they look like chiseled tips on the specifications and in the back there in the picture, but they didn't arrive like that. Okay, so this one is going to be a little bit difficult. Put this down here. And we'll do, this one's half out anyway. So that one is that one, and it goes down diagonally to that one, I think. Is that it? Yep. Yeah. These are really well and truly right. Has that got it? Yep. And again, I'm just wondering whether someone has actually worked on this before, because these Rubicons, normally they're all one brand in these units from Japan, and the 1 microfarad ones are, the Rubicon ones are far smaller than the I'll do this with the pliers. Yeah, these look like modern caps. Do that. Yeah. Because I don't know whether you'll be able to see or not, but there's quite a bit of space down here for a larger cap, probably one of this size, and yeah, it's quite small. And this one down here, this has been mashed in half. It's really been squeezed, and it's only got a small circle, so they've obviously tried to force that in there. Right, and that's just too small, Andrew. Yeah, it's better. Let me stretch this across. Take those off. That's better, I can see now. And that goes down in there. And I may as well do this one while I'm at it. Right, so that's over there. That so you can try that. That's nowhere near it, is it? That down there. And that one. Perhaps. Yeah, that's the one. Come off. And it's possibly this one. Yep. I am closing my eyes when I do that. So I've not got my specs on. So that's the 220. Have I got any 220s left? What's this one? This is 100. Okay. Need a 220. At 6.3 volts. Okay, let's go and get something. Two twenty at 6.3. Right, so I have these. Which brand are these? These are Nichicons, and they're a little bit bigger than these Panasonics. We'll go with the Panasonic, even though it's much smaller. Yeah. And we'll bend the lead, not too close to the rubber, and then we'll go down. And that should be good enough. So we'll tie this up. Right. Which is the negative and that one. Way off. Right. I've got a few things to solder up here. And my soldering eye's gone to sleep. So we'll just wait for that to warm up again and have a drink. And where was it? This one. And yeah, that was just so short it didn't matter. Okay. So I think it's time to test it. Again, we've done 3. Now that doesn't look very good. That is actually shorted together. Right. And yep. All right.
And some people just fall through the cracks. And so being the one doctor there, you don't miss all of those things. And we have some absolutely fantastic support.
Okay, so we're working. So we'll continue on our merry way. Right, so I'm going to do this one down here next. So that will be that one. Is it? Yeah, I think that is the one. That is not it. Yes, it is. Come out. Yeah, this one is really mashed. I don't know what they did when they put it in, but yeah, it's completely crushed. Okay. There's my little and what was it actually? Was it 47 at 16? And I don't think I've got any of those left, do I? Why didn't I buy 47 at 16? Uh, 47 at 16. Well, I seem to have plenty of these. So we'll go with these ones, which is a Kemet. Right. So negative, and that goes in. This will be pretty quick. And yeah, that looks like what should have been in there, judging by the stencil. Right. And what's our feed looking like? Oh, I've got a few people in. Few visitors over time. Right, so these three are all in a row. Put these back. Yep. That should be those two. Those two, yeah, okay. Out, that's definitely it. This is definitely This has definitely wet itself in the past. Ugh. This is a Sango brand one, and I suspect I shouldn't have taken this out. 15/10. Wonder what that means. No, it's 0.15. Is it 0.15? Definitely don't have any 0.15s. Hopefully this will go back in again. If it's not, all right. So what have we got? Open circuit low capacitance. Okay. So that is a very small capacitor. Try a other one. I just wish my proper ESR meter was working. Really, so that is negative. And this is positive. .198. It's definitely high if it's supposed to be 0.15. I'm going to stick it back in again. Yeah, 0.19. Okay. Is that going to make any difference with the sound of this machine? Probably not. So I'm going to put this back in again, hopefully. Work out yep, just about. And I can then solder it. Now let's have a squeeze and see if that is actually blown or anything like that. No, it's still working.
Even before, which is that we see the aims as stated by the Israeli government as not.
Yep. Okay. Right, there's two more to do on this, and then there's the one down in there. Okay. Now, where are we? So we're below. So that was those two. So we'll try that one and that one. Yep, this is definitely gosh. Got to be so careful with these. Because the tracks lift like just looking at them. Right. So that's another 1 microfarad one. Why didn't I buy 4? I think I've got some of those left. I'm not sure whether I ordered them. Okay, I'm going to have a look for a 1 microfarad one. And that one is another 220. So we'll get another 1 and a 220. And 1. 50. Place. Is this polarized? Yeah. Okay, we'll have to find a polarized one. Then non-polarized. And these are polarized. And lucky last on this board. And this one is directly below it. So it'll be that one and that one by the looks of it. So it'll be this one. And this one maybe. No. So wants to this one. This one. It's got to be one of these. Is it this one? It is. Doesn't hurt to re-solder because some of these solder joints will be well and truly in fact I'll go over the whole lot. And that was a 220, wasn't it? So that was one. And are these 220? No, they're non-polarized. And this 220. Yep. Right, so order some more 220s when you think about it, Andrew. It's Panasonic, this one. Right, so that is all done. Now we'll just test it. Sounding better. I can hear a station without the aerial.
Something that I think the Kremlin learned a lot from the poisoning of him back in 2020, and what sort of news, what sort of
Things will happen.
Gone to the late leaves if he wasn't expecting quite that one to bounce in the way it did. It was outside the off stump going through to the keeper it goes. Oh, I didn't know that at all.
But I was
just in Queensland, or would there be other states where...
So I was in Canberra the other day, and the amount of rabbits I saw in Canberra itself on the little hills around town and the parks, unbelievable. Thousands of them.
Well, I'll report back on the Sydney rabbit.
How is it? What's its name?
Atticus. Atticus is the name. Left arm over here outside the off stump once more, Travis Head. He is content to let these go as we're 10 minutes away from the close of play tonight.
But yeah, no, we're up on a bit of a Sunshine Coast now, and I love sitting out the front. We've got a resident mob of kangaroos. They're about 18 in total, just come and feed at the front of the house there, and you can sit there. And, yeah, the odd red deer goes through as well.
Right.
Bears, foxes, so yeah, it's a little bit of wildlife.
Yeah, so that switch needs a little clean.
Go down with a bit of wildlife watching. Travis Head facing up again.
Somehow or another. So that's that is just that one. It'll be the record switch, and
I was down at Deep Creek National Park in the week leading up to Christmas in South Australia for a bit of a fishing trip down at a location called Blowhole Beach, which is only accessible by four-wheel drive. Sorry, still got.
This has got a great big shield on this switch, and there is absolutely no opening in it other than here with this little ball bearing. Now that will be far too much, but let's see if I can move this switch. Well, that's much better already.
Incredible lengths and tails sticking out, and off they go.
Never tire of seeing kangaroos, ever. Jamal's got the ball in his hand again, standing next to that little pile of sawdust at the end of his mark.
Okay.
I'm wondering whether Pakistan will be happy with the day's efforts. You know, in the toss, 3 down, 177 on the board.
Around the wicket here. Width, though, doesn't challenge Travis Head. If you win the toss and you opt to bowl, the idea is that you're bowling side out, isn't it? Yes, although they have restricted Australia to a degree. But if batting conditions are better tomorrow, so we've got Mitch Marsh to come and Alex Carey and Travis Head will be in a different mindset come a fresh morning.
Yeah, so I think they'd be disappointed that first session. No wicket for 90 and then Dave Warner plays that shot just before lunch and gets out. So Australia were on top. Been slow going since then.
Marley dropped into the offside by Head, dropping through for 1. That's a 5-point moves forward, sends the ball back into the gloves of Rizwan. The control with the ball.
I'm not going to put this back in because it's pretty hard to do. But what I am going to do is clean all this rubbish up. It is pretty disgusting still. I don't know how I'm going to do the other belt. I can see where the main belt goes. Just goes across from there to there. But the other one was right underneath. Okay, so let's get my... Now I would normally vacuum these out with a brush and everything like that, but given it is pretty yuck. Yeah. Come on, where are you? Yeah.
And that helps Australia along, 3 for 183 now. There's one thing about Pakistan bowlers, I mean, they've been
Yuck.
all day, but just getting that energy and that vigour focused in the right way, most effective way. Jamar running in again. Well, that's it's not a wide, but it's well wide outside the off stump that time. And
Right, so I'm going to throw this away. It's going to take a lot of cotton buds, I think.
Loses the front arm and just muscles it. The one before he sort of pushed it down late, that one there just got really low and sort of was wide outside of the off stump, and that's why the radar's not switched in. He's not got the control of that front arm, not going where he wants that ball to go. Really trying to muscle it.
Well, I've had one wild bouncer, one well wide outside the off stump. Where will this one go? That's better. It's still outside the off stump and no shot off by Labuschagne, but needs to get tighter and tighter and force a shot and try and attack the stumps, which we haven't seen very much of from Pakistan. A few LBW shouts.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of play misses as well. There's enough movement in this pitch. So if they can get that length right, just a little bit zero more on off stump, they can pick up the wicket here, get back into it.
Last ball of the over. Jamal runs away. Pass over the fence. There's another bounce. It's more of a regulation bounce. Oh no, it's wide. It is wide. Again, it was safely into the gloves of Rizwan, but again, just too short and too high over the batter. So there will be another ball to come.
Had to be too short, didn't it? It looked like it was too far down the inside. He's not having a go at the umpire saying, well, is that a wide? Just watching the replay there. Mark's only a foot and a half over Marnus Labuschagne's head, so yeah. Way too short again.
Now will this be the last ball of the over? Jamal runs in, has some width, flashing shots from Labuschagne out to deep points. It's only a single though, it's picked out the one fielder in the deep on that
it is the over that are a rather expensive one with all the extras as well. 3,485. Rick.
Speaking of extras, Australia has accumulated extras at the rate of 5.14% of all their runs since the year 2000. 5.14%. In this series, Pakistan have conceded extras at the rate of 9.5% of all the runs they've conceded.
Oh, goodness.
Almost double.
Yeah. Well, that's you'd think that's sort of an instant thing that should be easily correctable. I mean, it just shouldn't be happening.
No, that's way too high.
Just under 5 minutes of play left in this day then after a rain delay earlier. The delay came with Australia 2 for 114 with Labuschagne and Smith, the not out batsman. Steve Smith was dismissed, caught behind on review. The bowler Jamal for 26, 3 for 154 at that stage.
Well, the motor is really spinning now. It was struggling before, so that's good, but I don't know whether I've got the belts or not.
Labuschagne 43 not out is removing his helmet, wiping
Right.
some sweat from his brow down there now. He seems also in not a rush to try and get to his 50 before the close either. Whether he is feeling a little twitchy inside, we won't know, but he's not chasing anything at this stage. He seems to be quite content just to sort of clock watch and make sure that he and Travis Head are safely able to come back again tomorrow.
Okay,
111 deliveries.
so I'll turn it off. Yes, it definitely needs a bit of grease, but it's not. In that one, it's a bit. It's got 2 big springs on it. Okay. Right. Let's see if we can get anywhere with these belts. And of course it's sealed, isn't it? Sealed for air protection. Methinks I should have maybe that one will work. Is that sort of the right length? No, that's too big. Try this one. I think that one's going to work. Okay, so leave that there and see if we can get this flywheel off. Right. That's interesting. Where did that belt go then? That smaller one. Should have left it on there, shouldn't I? Ah, there's one down there. So where does that go to? Does it go across underneath there? Got the groove. Okay. So with that, yeah, that would have gone around those three, I think. I'm not entirely convinced we've got the whole belt here. Back there. That looks like okay. So need a very small one. And very thick. Is this? That was looking good. So how do we get this on? That is actually the right size. Diameter anyway. Got this. We've got the spring there, haven't we? Oh, bugger. Oh no. Just have to push this down into there. Right. Where does it go? Over. Definitely goes over that one. This looks way too big. Yeah, okay. So that belt must have stretched or something. That seems to be 3 points. We've only got 2. That is independent of that. So that's going to be the take-up reel. Okay. So that engages with that. That must have only been a 2-point belt then. So can't see where the third point is on this. And that is the spring coming off. Where did that attach to? Oops. Okay. So we need a fairly... That is quite a large belt. You would think that that is going to be the same as that one. Right, so now we've got this belt. So this one maybe, that is going to be too tight. I think. Over you go. Yep. And pretty sure this is going to be too tight. How much stretch do we have in it? Maybe. Go over this one. It's quite small underneath, but the cog is very large. Not quite. And this is going to be way too tight. going to be way too tight. Oh, maybe not. What's that? Huh. It is actually okay. So it's not going to release, is it? Is this that toot? Then greasing. Okay. I know that spring is in its place. Ah, okay. Right. Okay. I'll get some grease. Okay. This stuff is fantastic. It is really good at lubricating things like this. It's designed for plumbing, but it is excellent. Just the tiniest amount. This one down there. I use this all the time on the turntable mechanisms. And there's down there as well, isn't it? Right. Somewhere where it won't cover everything for the time being. Okay. Not convinced, but we'll see. So it does slowly come back. what I'll do is I'll put a little bit more down here. Oops. Yeah, that is actually disengaging of its own accord now. Right. So this one, that'll be the main heads and everything like that. So I'll, where's my little screwdriver? This will do. So we'll take this dried grease off there. It is really dry. Yep. Try not to get this on the belt. And over here, geez, that's really dry. Okay. Put this on a cotton bud or something to get it down there. Right. A little bit more. And actually a little bit more down there. Yeah, okay. Not quite sure why I'm spending this amount of time on this particular radio, but yeah. Oh, there's some down in there as well. Okay. Right. Okay. We've got that little tiny washer down there. Go under there. There we go. And put that on there. And we probably should put some grease down there. Do it for the top and the bottom. And yep, done that tight. And some more on here. Put this belt on. Is the right length? Probably too long. Yeah, way too long. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Too short. Too short. What about this one? It doesn't, that feels a bit tight, but only has to work. Okay. Right, let's give it a bit of power. Yes.
That's been really a storyline that's run concurrently with the series throughout. I wanted to make a statement by writing All Lives Matter on his shoes leading into the contest. That was denied. Poor black armband, got a reprimand for it. Tried to get the double piece on the back of his back.
Ah, okay. I see what that does. So it would have gone around the bottom of this as well.
A lot of noise, and we sat down and really tried to understand what he was trying to achieve. We supported Usman in
Right.
application.
So I'll take this one off. Actually, it's not too tight. It's pretty good. A little bit tight, but it'll give over time. And so we do have a groove in there. So I can unscrew this a bit. And we've got the longer one. So this one, okay, this is going to be hard, or maybe not. Right, let's get this one off. I need to go up. There. Going to that's that one. And still getting caught on that bit of metal. Right, I have to clean that off. It's got some grease on it now. Okay, so that will go around there. This belt seems like overkill actually. It'll go around there. And now, the tricky bit is getting this around that. Not quite long enough. I used to have a fantastic hook that I bought from a place in America, and it was excellent for this. Actually, I might. I've been able to find it for years. Might be able to. I've got my other hooks. No. No. Aha. And of course the one that we want is not in here, but might be able to get away with this one. So it's got to come right up. Is that actually over that? No, that's actually on it. And it's actually turning. I suppose it's meant to be loose in that way, and then when you put this on, it tightens it up. Excellent. And we'll put this belt back on again. We need to tighten that up. Huh. Amazing. And it works. Wonder if it's going to.
It was passed around on a lot of the flies whenever they wanted to say something. Yeah. Could you step back a little bit and sort of.
And it's turning.
A conch could be also considered a.
I'd hate to think what the wow and flutter is like, but.
Well, shell. A seashell.
Fast forward.
Yeah, okay. I'll accept seashell. Very well done, thank you. Olivia of Maroubra, still on a little bit of a roll. Alright, here is a music clue. I want you to tell me this song and this artist. Are you ready? Yes. Can I get both, by the way? I just realised that's a lot more intense than the last music question. Okay.
Where's the power? Right. Just can't have that music on, otherwise we'll be off the YouTube for a while. And yeah, so Radio Cruncher did that on his last Christmas broadcast, or whatever you like to call it, and yeah, he got a copyright hit, and the video was black for a little while, and now it's not coming up at all. So always turn the screws backwards until you feel it click, and then especially with this plastic, it's older brittle stuff, and yeah, so it'll go into the groove properly, into the thread, and then it will go back into its proper original thread. There we go. Right. Let's hope we don't get music.
The garden or the beach. Is it Scandinavian of some description?
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be running all the time.
Along with some meatballs of some description. I think you can. Oh, great. Okay, well, that's good to know. I don't know if that accidental mentioning of a large company will get me hauled in front of a Senate Estimates Committee, but we'll find out. Olivia, thanks for playing tonight. Thanks, Jeff.
That switch isn't disengaging.
They are in deep
For some reason. Oh, I see. Yep. We've come off the spring. Where's the tweezers? Tweezers, or even this thing. Little hook. Now we'll put this up over the there. It's better.
person to suggest daylight savings time, and it's stumped our last caller. I will say this is a person who is very famous for inventing a lot of things, so inventing this idea goes on a long list of things.
Right. The last thing we have to do is do the other capacitor. So I'm going to turn this off, unplug it. I'll of course put the new power cord on it. And we need to clean up down here as well. So that's, where is it? I think it's see. Oh yeah. So down here is pretty disgusting as well. So let's clean that up. Again, I'm going to use the spray rather than doing the other stuff. Yuck. I'm not going to really clean this cabinet up because it's not mine and I don't care. I've probably already done far too much on this for what I'm going to get back in payment. But them's is the brakes, and I've got a live stream out of it. So, yuck. Shouldn't have done that. Go. Which one did it go on? Went on that one. Didn't it? No. It went down there. Okay. So I'll put this back in. I think went in that way. I'll just clean around here. So it definitely went in there. Now these buttons went in next. Yep. I'm going to line up the capstan and everything like that. Do that without wrecking the heads. And now this has to come down over the top. It's wire down here. One down you go. This has to come over here and slot in somehow or another. What is stopping it? Absolutely nothing except for the volume control. Oh, okay. So it's going to have to come out again a little bit. That's, yep. Is that over the top of that one or is it underneath? No, it seems to be. Why isn't it just clicking into that? Ah, some dead spiders. Just fallen out. Oh, it's going to go right back there and... okay. This is well and truly jammed in here now. Come on, lift up. Come on. Oh, I see. There's that switch down there too, isn't there? Bugger. Is that through there? That needs a good clean in there. I should have, yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm going to give up tonight because it's way past my dinner time. And somehow this is just so close, and that is in. But it's moving that way, but it's not coming up that way at all. So it needs, because the head mechanism is in the hole for it, but it's not. Oh no, it's not quite lining up. And that switch is way off. Yeah. So I'm going to very quickly do this cap, otherwise I'll forget. And then I'm going to call it a night and finish this off in the morning. It won't take long, but I'm getting tired, and the I don't want to snap any plastic or break anything. You know, I should have looked underneath and had a good look at it, because it's absolutely filthy under there. I mean, this is pretty bad as well, but this is adequate. Come out. Is that going to? Bugger. It's soldered to that switch. You're supposed to do this. Can I maneuver this up far enough to desolder it? That is the $64 question. Come out. The screw doesn't want to come out. Ah. Right. Can I get that? This should go a little bit further. Yep. Trying not to touch the plastic with the nozzle. And this one's going to be particularly hard because it's bent down. Right. I'm just going to chop these. And once it's glued, isn't it? There we go. Huh. I think this is the first glue of this age that hasn't dried out. Still really flexible. And yeah, it's really sticking and really flexible. So I don't know whether you can see that, but that's actually quite flexible there, that glue. So we'll keep those, we'll chop those off again. Interesting to do a test on that one. And here is the replacement for it. I probably should have got a higher voltage one, but they didn't have one. And the 2200s which I've got are really like 63 volts and 85 volts. And this one is only 10 volts, but it is 105, so that is good. And it goes in. I shall clean that off a bit. No, I won't. It's really... Now the screw comes out. So we'll do this. Bend these back this way. And then bend these. Bend that over like that. And then try and get some solder down there. Yeah. Do I need the bread tie? Probably not. It'll be way too long anyway, but Better keep it there just in case, and I'll put a bit of hobnail glue on it tomorrow. But I will solder this back in, and then we'll test it out. And then I'll say adieu to you all. And we'll chop these off. Again, I've got my eyes closed when I'm doing that. At least this doesn't stink of cigarettes. It does smell a little bit, but doesn't actually reek. Okay, now how am I going to change that? Goes down inside there. We'll leave that till tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. Put this back down somehow or another. Shall clean that off, that is really bad. Now we'll put this back in again. Going backwards, bites, and then tighten it. And tighten. Right. I don't know if this is going to work with it all jammed up like that, but we'll try it. In fact, it's all going to fall out now, isn't it? No, it's just the board. Okay. Right. Put this cord in. If I can get it to go in. There it goes. Well, it's on.
Move by President Vladimir Putin.
Anything that would lead to his physical removal will backfire at Putin, and he's right now in the middle of his election campaign, so he doesn't need that. Secondly, Navalny does not represent any political threat in terms of being able to generate considerable votes from the Russian conservative electorate.
Leading anti-gambling advocates say there's no room for compromise, following reports that reveal betting giant Tabcorp has signed sponsorship deals with NRL and AFL clubs. 6 months ago, a parliamentary inquiry recommended TV, radio, newspaper and online advertisements be phased out over 3 years. A growing number of MPs have spoken in favour of a ban, but the federal government's yet to announce its response. Chief.
Okay, right. So that is all good. It's just a matter of unjamming the chassis, and yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to get this out in the first place, but wasn't that jammed in. And then yeah, just giving a good clean and changing the power cord, and it's done. So thank you all for watching. Don't know how many people are still watching. There's 2, and we've had 40 visitors here, so that's pretty good. No comments whatsoever. I wonder if I've not got the comments on or something like that. Yeah. Okay. I'll do another one of these. It seems to have been reasonably successful, with enough people watching, coming in and out to justify it. So I'll wish you all a Merry Boxing Day, because it's the day after Christmas. And there's no real video this week. And yeah, I might do another live stream later in the week with another radio, which I've got 4 of these to do. He's only given me 1, but 2 other people came in at the last minute wanting them done. And one of them is a newer model of this one, and the other 2 are Panasonics. So I'm thinking that the other Sanyo one will be very similar to this one, even though it's probably 10 years newer. Okay, so I'll sign off now and see you all on the flip side. Thanks for watching and good night. It's 8:03 here at night.